All right. Well, how's it going, everyone? Good evening. Today we're going to be covering Lecture 7 on our Zoology 1 series. And so today we're going to be talking about dogs, bears, sea lions, walruses, um, seals, and skunks. So we're going to be first starting out with dogs. Now, as you may know in the Bible, um, there's a mention in First Kings that talks about how either Prophet Elijah prophesied about Jezebel's death, how they are going to be eaten by dogs, and it did happen. Um, so there is a difference between uh, pet dogs or domesticated dogs versus wild dogs. Such as wolves, coyotes, jackals, dingoes, and other wild dogs. And actually, let me go ahead and look up the scripture. In the Bible, the Bible describes a lot about jackals, which is a wild dog from the genus, I think, Canis. Let me see here. I don't know if I hold on. Oh, with A. There we go. Jackals. Um, in Psalms 44 verse 19, but you have severe broken us in a place of jackals and covered us with a shadow of death. And then again in Psalms 63 verse 10, they shall fall by the sword, and they shall be a portion for jackals. In Isaiah chapter 34 verse 14, the wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the jackals, and the wild goat shall blink to its companion. Also the night creature shall rest there, and find for herself a place of rest. In Jeremiah chapter 9 verse 11 that we covered in the sermon series, I will make Jerusalem a harp of ruins and a den of jackals. I will make the city of Judea desolate without inhabitants. Okay, there's that. And then Malachi chapter 1 verse 3, but Esau I hated and laid waste his mountains and his heritage for the jackals of the wilderness. So we've seen a lot of scripture that really talks about jackals a lot. And jackals are part of the Canis genus. Um, So there's examples like gray wolves are the largest of the dog family. The eastern wolf, red wolf, that is, I think is native to North Carolina, I believe. One out there, I think endangered or threatened to extinction, but yeah. Coyotes, golden jackals. We got raccoon dogs, as you may know. Yeah, so So let's move on to bears. Um, Actually, hold on. Let me give you a scripture here. Bears are pretty interesting. They are very large indeed. The largest of the bear family is the polar bears. Um, Hold on, let me give a scripture because there's a scripture. That talks about bears. Thinking either First Chronicles. Is it? No, that's not it. Hold on. I remember. I think Elijah prophesied to these kids that they would be eaten by bears. Trying to find a scripture for it. Bear eats kids. I think Elisha. I think that's his name. So bears. I'm trying to remember. Oh, no, that's not. No. Okay, found it. In let's see here. Okay. What was it? Let's see here. I'm gonna find it. Hold on. I know Elisha prophesied to the kids about uh the kids are making fun of him for being bald and Elisha prophesied to them that they would be eaten by bears. Man, I couldn't find it. I know it's there somewhere. There's somewhere. But bald. Okay, well, I couldn't find it. I gave up. But there's a scripture that talks about how the kids make fun of Elisha, and Elijah got mad, and he prophesied that the bears will come and get him or eat him, and they did. But it's sad. But anyway, there are 8 species of bears. They are carnivores and sometimes omnivores, depending on the species. There's the sloth bears, the sun bear, the Asiatic black bears, the American black bear that we have in North Carolina as well. The polar bears are the largest bears that you can find, and they are endangered, probably near threatened because of the climate changes and stuff. So, and brown bears and grizzly bears. So that's that. Sea lions. Now we've seen sea lions in zoos and aquariums. There are 6 species of sea lions and one extinct species, which is called a Japanese sea lion, which got extinct in the 1950s. Their lifespan is roughly between 20 to 30 years, which is pretty long. The largest is the Steelers sea lion. And examples of these are actually, hold on. The Australian sea lion, the Galapagos sea lion, and the New Zealand sea lion are endangered for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. So there's like many different species. The South American sea lion, the Californian sea lion, lives in California, so that's pretty good. So next is the walruses. We've seen walruses again in zoos and aquariums. Uh, these are the only living species that we got. Uh, they usually live in the North Pole in the Atlantic. Oh no, not the Atlantic. The Arctic Ocean. They do have long tusks though, for mating purposes and also for defense. They usually eat mollusks and they live for roughly around 20 to 30 years. Seals are pretty interesting. Seals has it's also called the earless seals or the true seals. They feed on fish and mollusk. Um, I don't have that great detail on this family, but we know and we see they got flippers. They got they are ability to they're mammals, so they got to breathe at some point. Um, they don't have gills at all. They have to breathe. Don't know what probably a second, just to or a minute or two just to get air. Um, but there's a lot of species of seals that live in the right now today. No one is the Mediterranean monk seal, the Hawaiian monk seal, the northern elephant seal, the southern elephant seal, Ross seal, leopard seal, and Wendell seal. Seals are quite interesting. I love seals. I love to see them swim. Okay, for not least is the skunks. Now we've seen skunks before. They stink. They really stink. Now this belongs to the weasel family. And they spray liquid um, with a strong, smelly odor. Um, they are omnivores, but they eat insects, worms, frogs, snakes, leaves, berries. Skunks mate in early spring, and they have roughly around 4 to 7 kits, as I call them. The kits are baby skunks. And a good example of it is the American hognose skunk, the striped hognose skunk, the hooded skunk, the western spotted skunk, and the pygmy spotted skunk. Um, yeah, so I know it's kind of short, but I just want to get there short and sweet. And also, do please pray for the people who are impacted by Hurricane Michael. We definitely need your prayers. I've been watching the news lately that they just hit Panama City, and it's bad, man. I tell you. And it's heading towards Raleigh, North Carolina, where I live, and so it's going to be like a tropical storm, probably tomorrow. So I may not be working tomorrow. We'll see. I got to call first, but please do keep us in your prayers and send missionaries to help the aids for Hurricane Florence and Hurricane Michael as well. So may God bless you and keep you, and I'll see you again later.